What's going on, you guys? Mr. Allen here. I'm about to find all the zeros of f of x here, given that x equals -2 is a zero. Now, I want to point out here before we get going that I could have also phrased this question as, given that x plus 2 is a factor, right? The process of this problem is still going to be the same thing. I need to solve for x in that case and get x equals -2. Because I'm going to use that -2 in the box for synthetic division. Then I got to put all my coefficients thereafter. So we got 2, we got 5, -4, and -12. Remember, if there's a missing term there, I got to put a 0 in its place. So now let's synthetically divide. Drop the 2. I'm going to have -2 times 2 is -4. We're going to add vertically and get 1. Multiply, I get -2. Add vertically, I get -6. Multiply, I get 12. Add vertically, I get 0. Now, this remainder should be 0. If it's not 0, and this is the question, you did something wrong, okay? It should divide out nicely as it is one of my zeros. It'll come out of that thing wonderfully perfect with a remainder of 0. So this is my constant. This is my x term, my linear term. This is my quadratic term's coefficient. So I now have 2x squared plus x minus 6 set equal to 0. And now I can either use quadratic formula or factoring to solve. Now, a lot of us probably prefer factoring if possible. So does anything multiply to -12, right? Multiply to -12 if you're a fan of doing it this way, and add to 1. Well, yes, it would be 4 and -3. So I can break this apart into 2x squared plus 4x minus 3x minus 6 equals 0. You could also use guess and check if that's your way to go here. All right, so now group and group. I'm going to take out a 2x here, and I'm left with x plus 2. I'm going to take out a -3 here, and I'm left with x plus 2. So my two factors are now 2x minus 3, and I have x plus 2 equals 0. So to answer this question or find all zeros, I'm going to set my two factors equal to 0. So I'll have 2x minus 3 equals 0, giving me x equals +3 over 2. That's one of my other zeros. And then my other one, x plus 2 equals 0, I'm going to get x equals -2 for my other 0. And the original one here is also x equals -2. So perhaps a follow-up question could be, what's the multiplicity of my zeros? Well, my multiplicity here would be 2. Another wonderful follow-up question. Let's do it because I'm just into follow-up questions right now. If I wanted to graph this thing, could I graph this? Heck yeah, I can graph it. All right, let's do it right here, right here. Hi, right in my face. All right, so I got 3 over 2. So let's go 1, 2, 3 over 2 is going to be right here. And then -2, 1, 2, but with the multiplicity of 2. So it's going to bounce off that one. This is a cubic and it's positive. It's going to look something like this. It's got to bounce right there. So I'm going to come through like this. My y-intercept is going to be at -12, and I'm going to come up and through this thing. How in the heck did I know my y-intercept would be at -12? Well, if I plugged in 0 for x into the original here, I'd be left with a -12 for my y value. So we got 0, -12. That's not necessarily the minimum. It kind of worked out that way how I graphed it, but there we go. That's dope. That's awesome. See you guys later.